All right, number 8. John Laurinaitis. All right. Obviously, he has no idea what he's doing in terms of being the man in charge of the talent. I mean, obviously. He had no talent himself ever. He always sucked. All right. Oh my God. He invented the cutter. He must be God. It makes him God. He's the God of dumb fucks. Wow. And now this dumb fuck has an on-air character. You fucking kidding me? Another man added from my top 5 of the most hated men within wrestling is an on-air character on some form or another on a wrestling show on TV. Not going to mention the other guys. This is another fucking video. What happened? Is FCW failing so bad that he can't bring up anybody from FCW, so he puts himself in? What's he going to come out and give somebody the cutter? And from what it seems like to me, he's the one that's conjured up this whole text thing that was sent to Kevin Nash and all this. It looks like he's the one that set it up, especially after this Raw. He sent off Triple H to the hospital to see Kevin Nash when Kevin Nash wasn't even at the hospital. So, what is it? Kevin Nash and John Laurinaitis are in cahoots? What the fuck? What is this? Why does he need a character? He is not helping the ratings of the show. He's not a wrestler! Alright, number 9. All the WWE titles are worthless. They all have no meaning. All their history has been desecrated and destroyed. All their value is deceased. It has went 6 feet under with their history and anything pertaining to them that actually means something. The WWE has taken the history and just forgotten about it. It's gone. And the guys fighting for these titles now are fighting for something that's worthless. In my opinion, these guys fighting for them deserve to fight for these titles mean more than titles because they're the future of the company. And if they're fighting for something meaningless because there's no storylines, there's no real involvement in terms of the writing, it's just a bunch of random shit because there's never going to be story and storylines for the different characters so they can have feuds with each other within the mid-card division and for the mid-card titles and whatnot so they can build themselves to be something for the company so the crowd can like them or hate them or, you know, just cause them to react and they can go in the ring and they can put on a good show overall, you know, become a draw for the company and make money. That's what these mid-card titles are supposed to be for, but they mean nothing, and since they mean nothing and there's pointless storylines, these titles will never get any of these guys anywhere, so the guys that hold them are fighting for something that means nothing. If you don't believe me, look at Kofi Kingston. He's held, what, like 1 million mid-card titles? I mean, granted, it's not really 1 million, but you get my point. My point is how many mid-card titles does he have to win before he goes over? I've said this before. It's ridiculous. All right? They took a Dolph Ziggler and made him World Heavyweight Champion for 1 day. How many people actually remember that? All right? They brought in Drew McIntyre. I said this before. For what? They gave him all this hype just to destroy him. All right? They've done this with a lot of people. These guys get to these titles that mean nothing, and they're in worthless storylines that mean nothing, and they're just in random matches, so the crowd can never develop their character because they're not going to get over just by pure wrestling abilities with the crowd that WWE draws. The prestige of the titles is dead. It's gone. It's deceased because WWE cannot properly book a story anymore for all the other 8 above things that I spoke about. And if you still don't believe me, here's reason number 10. And I'm not giving cut at this time because my voice is still feeling okay. Number 10. The WWE Paper Championship. Paper. If you don't believe me, I got proof. Money in the Bank. We had this huge build-up going to Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank ended build to it. Great pay-per-view with the exception of the fact that the Money in the Bank matches were just unannounced and was random people that were put in them. There was no real matches to determine them. Other than that, the build-up and the pay-per-view itself were great. CM Punk wins, becomes champion, supposedly left the company. Ratings go down. He comes back. Before he comes back, within that 2-week period, they crown, through an 8-man tournament, a new WWE champion in a Rey Mysterio, who is champion for 1 hour. For 1 hour. He lost the title to said John Cena at the end of the night. That's worse than Christian. That has got to be the shortest WWE title reign in history. If there's one shorter, somebody find it. Then they go on and they have SummerSlam, which, because they brought back CM Punk so early because the ratings were so bad and needed the ratings to go up so soon because they didn't let the storyline play out like they should. And I gave them credit when they brought him back because they could still recover and they could still keep going, which they did. What happened? You had 2 champions on the show. 2 champions. All right? So you had a paper champion in John Cena who had just won the belt, and CM Punk, who is the other champion, who won the belt at Money in the Bank. So now you have 2 champions. They're 2 paper champions. And what solidifies them as paper champions is at the end of this whole feud, all right, you have Rey Mysterio lost his rematch, which he should have, okay, against Del Rio. He did lose it, which is fine. I'm fine with that. But at the end of this whole thing, you had John Cena and CM Punk have their match. Alright? And when John Cena and CM Punk have their match, CM Punk beats him for the 4th time, not twice, 4th time, with a non-clean finish because John Cena's freaking foot was on a rope to begin with. Then Kevin Nash comes out and power bombs him. He's got nothing to do with the story. He hasn't been on TV since the Royal fucking Rumble. Then Del Rio comes out and cashes in Money in the Bank and wins, which further buries CM Punk, alright? Even though they're putting him back on the show, making him try to look good to an extent, even though all they've done is officially bury him because they've taken him out of the main event by putting him in this stupid feud with Kevin Nash and Triple H. This is pathetic. You've proven he was nothing but a paper champion. You used his contract for leverage. He re-signed a fucking contract. Then you took the title off him. That's called being a paper fucking champion. Being a champion for 1 hour, that's called being a fucking paper champion. Having that title once lost to said John Cena, and then having John Cena lose to CM Punk at SummerSlam makes him a paper champion. And he's supposed to be your top guy, and he's a paper champion? You made his title run mean nothing. And he's your top guy. He's the guy that you care about the most. I hate that. I hate John Cena so much, for fucking Christ. Oh my God, WWE. Holy shit, you guys are so retarded. I am done. Leave responses, video responses, hit the subscribe button. Peace.